events and tragedies. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. And I just haven't been up to record, but oh, sorry if the heating goes on. It's very frigid where I am. I apologize. But I hope that you're staying safe and taking care of yourself. Maintaining your sanity is very important in these times. But take care of yourself and your friends, your family, your neighbors, your community, and doing what you can, what you're capable of right now. But yeah, I just wanted to say a little something because it's been very heavy on my mind. It's been a rough month, a rough year, so I sincerely hope that you're staying safe. Just wanted to say that. But for today's video, I am doing a reading wrap-up. I'm gonna be yapping about the books that I read in the month of January. Now, I don't have physical copies of these books. I tend to lend books from my library digitally. So I usually go through Libby or Hoopla, and then I send it to my Kindle, or I read it on my browser, because I think Hoopla, you can only read it on your browser. At least I haven't found out a way to send it to my Kindle, so yeah. I do have a book over here though I may tap on as well. It's not one that I read this month, but just to switch up the sounds a little bit. But yeah, get comfy, get cozy, and I'm about to yap for like 20 minutes. I don't know how long. I'm going to start with the first book that I read this month. One moment, I need a water break. It's been so dry over here. Okay. The first book I read California to New Jersey, and she finds out her local community is putting on a production of Wicked. And she's never been in a musical before. As much as she loves them, she's never had the opportunity. And she loves Wicked. It's her favorite musical ever, only closely followed by Hamilton, of course. And she decides to go for it and audition for the musical, especially since she knows one of the characters, Nessa Rose. Nessa Rose is also a wheelchair user, so she goes in thinking, I'm gonna get this bagged. I'm gonna bag this role. So it follows her journey through the move. It starts out with her moving and deciding to audition, goes through the whole process until, spoiler alert, rehearsals start. And it just follows her whole journey with new friends, a new town, new place, and leaving her old best friend in California. I loved this book. It was great. I gave it four stars out of 5. I recommend this for anyone who loves musicals. Any age can enjoy this book. I absolutely tore through this book. I ripped through this book. I'm so cold, I'm like shivering. So I'm sorry if my voice sounds a little bit shaky. It is really cold. What was I saying? Oh yeah. I loved this as a musical theater lover. There are so many references to so many musicals. And every time there was a musical, I was like, I understand that reference. I was like, I'm a freaking nerd too. Heck yeah. If you absolutely abhor musicals, maybe don't check this one out. I don't know if you have a good time. But literally anyone else, check this out. But especially if you love musicals, especially if you love Wicked. What else to say? This was just a very sweet story. It was very sweet. The cast, the supporting cast was very supportive. It was just so wholesome. The cast of characters is very diverse as well. Of course, our main lady is a wheelchair user. I've never read a book from this perspective before, so that was really refreshing. And it was just a swell time. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I should or have to say. I really should have made notes. Oh, the author of this book, Ali Stroker, was the first wheelchair user to ever perform on Broadway. It was 2015 in Deaf West's production of Spring Awakening. I love that production. If I could turn back time and see Deaf West's production of Spring Awakening, there needs to be a Spring Awakening revival yesterday. I'm serious. But yeah, she was the first ever wheelchair user to perform on Broadway in, I think, 2015, which is crazy. And she won the Tony Award actually. Also, she narrates the audiobook, so I'm sure that's a pleasant experience if you are more into audiobooks. But yeah, I feel like that's enough yapping. Oh, I actually am going to read one quote from this that makes me emotional every time I read it. Let me go see. Let me see my clippings. Okay. Wicked is a tale of perseverance. It's about doing right even when it's simpler to do wrong. It's about unlikely friendship and unlikely romance. It's about embracing your own differences and learning from the differences of others. It's about reaching for the stars and settling for nothing. It's about then, and it's about now. I think that's very prevalent for it's about now. She got that right, it's about now. So yeah, the chance to fly, 4 stars. Recommend if you need an easy read. Absolutely. Recommend only if you don't hate musicals. Okay. So, the second book I read, not the first, but the second book and last, spoiler alert, the last book I read in January was the one, the only, the GOAT of dystopian young adult novels, The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. Book 1 of the Hunger Games series that currently has Katniss is the GOAT. Like, her brain, the Hunger Games feels so different just being able to see her internal dialogue, sorry. I just love how intelligent she is about the Hunger Games. Now, of course, I am comparing the book to the film adaptation, naturally. And in the movie, there were points where it didn't feel like Katniss or Peeta had watched the games every year for their whole life. Like 15 years they've watched the games, and 4 years they've participated in the reaping, because of course the games are required viewing for every citizen in Panem. And there were times in the movie where it didn't feel like that, but in the book, her knowledge about the games is so prevalent, and her strategy before, during, and after the games was just so compelling to read. She's such a compelling character to me. And I just realized I did not give you a synopsis about what the Hunger Games is about. Let me see if I can finish my thought. What was I saying? She's just so interesting, and she's so knowledgeable, like from the get-go, from the beginning of her involvement with the games. She's already thinking about her strategy, you know, being seen on cameras and how she'll be perceived by her fellow tributes. And I just think she's badass. She's so badass. If you don't know what the Hunger Games is about, let me know if you don't. Like, I am interested, because the Hunger Games is such a global phenomenon. No shame if you don't know, by the way. I'm just curious. Let's see how I can explain this. So the Hunger Games follows I guess, like a post-Civil War America. And it's now governed under, what would you call it, a totalitarian dictatorship, or an oligarchy, government, governed by a government. I'm trying my best. And every year, each district is required to send 2 tributes, one female and one male, between the ages of 12 and 18, to essentially fight to the death until there is a lone winner, survivor. So essentially every year they send 24 kids to kill each other to maintain balance and order, and to prevent an uprising, a rebellion. It's crazy stuff. That's why I'm saying I don't think this book is for under like 12-year-olds. I don't know what I was doing reading it at 7, not understanding it as for certain. That's why I'm saying like 16 plus. It's so dark. But yeah, it follows Katniss Everdeen. She is 16. I bet you can guess what happens to her. But I loved the book more than the movie, honestly, which is crazy because I love, especially the first Hunger Games. It's just very nostalgic to me. But the book made me appreciate Katniss's character a lot more. Not that I ever disliked her, but she's just so much more dynamic in the book. Oh gosh, I just like had the shivers. I don't remember what I was saying. Oh gosh, I love all these characters. I will say, I am dying to read Sunrise on the Reaping, which is why this is why I started reading the Hunger Games movies, because the Sunrise on the Reaping movie is coming out in November. So I wanted to read all of the books before it comes out, and I'm so eager to get to that book. I mean, everyone and their mother, like when the Hunger Games books were first coming obsessed with. I'm trying not to get into spoilers, but if you know, you know. Like the Avox girl, that whole plot line, the history with her and Katniss, I loved that, and how the Avox girl reacted to Katniss throughout it all. Oh, chef's kiss. Absolutely delicious. I'm excited to continue the series. I did rating time. I did give it 5 stars. I gave it a big fat 5. I was thinking about giving it 4.5, but it's just such a good start to the series. Like it's absolutely brilliant. Like I have no critiques. I have no critiques about it at all. I just loved it. I cried. Oh, you better believe I cried. The bread. Yeah. The bread got me. I think I need to wrap it up soon. I feel like I should have more to say. How many times did I say in this video? 5 stars. Love the Hunger Games. Will be continuing it. I'm probably gonna binge the rest of the series. I don't know how people read multiple books at once, or if they start a series that they love, how they don't finish it. I don't rock like that. That's not how I operate. I'm probably gonna finish the Hunger Games in the next couple of months. So stay tuned for my next reading wrap-ups if you want to hear me yap about the Hunger Games more. But yeah, I have started Catching Fire. I started it last night. I have read chapter 1, and my thoughts at the moment. Gale is pissing me off. Gale is pissing me off. I've read 1 chapter. In the first book, I was kind of indifferent towards him. I see him as a sibling figure, honestly, which I know, like, literally everyone and their mom in District 12 wants Katniss and Gale to get together. They're like, oh, they're inevitably gonna get married someday because they have such a strong connection with each other, such history, whatever. I see them as, like, siblings. If you know how, what happens in chapter 1. Well, he's really pissing me off because why is Gale acting like he's never heard of strategy in the Hunger Games ever? Why is he acting like District 12 never struggles to even be seen during the whole Hunger Games? I don't know why he's acting daft. I know maybe he has feelings for her. Maybe he has feelings for Katniss. Okay, can you grow up? Would you rather Katniss be dead? She had to do what she had to do, and God forbid she has conflicting feelings right now. God forbid she's like, I can't think about love, I'm traumatized. And sorry, Peter. Sorry, Peter. He's gotta understand too. Okay. So, wow, did I just talk about the Hunger Games for 30 minutes? I should never do a reading wrap-up. Thank God I can't read more than like 4 books a month, because this is a long one for 2 books. Yeah, okay. Sorry. Oh my gosh, it's so chilly. It's so chilly. Those were the books that I read in January. I'm sure next month will be more Hunger Games, probably Catching Fire and Mockingjay. Maybe, definitely Catching Fire. Unless I don't finish it next month. I'm probably gonna speedrun it. But I'm very excited to continue the Hunger Games series. I'm especially eager to read, well, both Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes and Sunrise on the Reaping, but especially Sunrise on the Reaping. I cannot wait. We got a brilliant series to go through before we get there. So, thanks for watching. I'm gonna write notes next time, so maybe this isn't however long of a video it is. I hope you enjoyed watching, though. Let me know if you've read these books, what you think about them. Don't spoil the Hunger Games, please.